Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here at Moss Pawn and Gun. We're hanging out at Moss Pawn for a while. It's been a while since we've been at Moss, but we're going to take a moment here to give you guys a little bit of knowledge and hopefully a little bit of advice about ways that you can get the gun person in your life into some cool gifts. Okay, right now we're Christmas is nigh upon us. Okay. And that's fine and everything.
It is very
Christmas,
nigh.
yes, it is extremely. But you know, Christmas is an important time of year for people to buy gifts for folks, and sometimes there's some confusion about what to get certain people. And even if you're stumbling across this video outside of Christmas time, maybe it's a guy that needs something for his birthday, or you're not sure what to get somebody who's a gun-toting person in your life. We've taken the liberty to get a whole bunch of cool things together to show you off. The type of items that really go well to somebody who's a gun person. There's a ton of different accessories out there in the gun industry, a bunch of different guns, a bunch of different accessories, ammo types. It can be confusing to somebody that maybe doesn't understand all the intricacies of it to really know exactly what goes where and what someone's going to truly like versus what they're just going to be like, oh, okay, well, it's okay, but maybe they're not quite in love with it. These are ideas that people definitely would love to have any of this stuff.
I just was thinking of it. I just had a picture in my mind of somebody saying, it's like, well, what kind of gun does he have? Well, he's got a 1022. It's like, okay, I'll find him something for that. And they go online, they look up 1022 accessories, and it's like oh,
50
no.
pages of random stuff, and you have no idea what's going on there. So I think right out the gate, the best way to look at it from the perspective of somebody, especially if you're not a gun person, how do you shop for somebody that is a gun person? Well, Ear Pro is definitely an awesome way to get some. I mean, Ear Pro are universally useful. Let's say that you think somebody might be a gun person. Maybe they're not, but they're definitely going to end up running a loud lawnmower or a backpack blower or a weed eater. Everybody needs a good set of Ear Pro, like these Howard lights. Awesome gift.
We use these things religiously. We've lost more pairs than I can remember too. They go missing. People like them, like, oh man, I like these things, and they just walk away.
So these are electronic Ear Pro. These particular ones, they'll drown out gunshots and other loud things, but then they'll amplify soft sounds like when you're talking to each other on the range. That way you don't get into that uncomfortable thing where you're yelling at each other on the range. This is also a great gift for somebody who maybe they're not into guns, but they're around people that shoot too. So that's a way they can protect their hearing, even though they may not be a gun owner. Maybe they go to the range with somebody that is or whatever. So Ear Pro is definitely just a nice universal thing to get folks.
While we're on the topic of like range accessories or like gun care accessories, things that you would want to take to the range with you, cleaning kits, things like that, things like small screwdriver sets like from Brownells or like Wheeler. I mean, there's some screwdriver sets that have gunsmithing specific bits in there, and they're less than $20.
Yeah.
Perfect gift, perfect stocking stuffer as well.
Absolutely.
So.
I mean, if you're looking for stocking stuffers, there's tons of small items. One of the things that come to mind pretty quick is you start looking at Magpul accessories. There's a ton of different Magpul items out there. If you go on their website and look at various things they sell, such as bad levers,
grips.
That's kind of funny to give somebody, you were good this year, so you get a bad lever.
You were naughty.
So like, stuff like bad levers.
Magazines. I mean, if somebody's got an AR, there's 1,000,001 parts out there for ARs, but if they have a basic gun, like say you just talked to a relative, it's like, hey, what does Johnny over there have? Well, he's just got a basic AR that he bought. Oh, he hasn't upgraded anything? Well, no. Well, a Magpul stock set that fits right on. Yep. A perfect little compliment.
Yep. ARs are popular.
Yeah. Magazines, I mean, 30-round mags. Yeah. 1022s, was talking about that earlier. BX25 magazines. If you don't know what to get somebody and they've got a 1022 rifle, buy BX25.
Oh yeah, BX25 is definitely a go there. Everybody loves magazines, and magazines and ammunition are essentially the food of guns, right? If you own a semi-automatic, you got to have mags, you got to have ammo. I mean, if somebody has a Ruger 1022, for instance, going back to that particular gun design, 22 ammo.
So 22 ammo for a while was somewhat difficult to find. It was still being produced, but people were buying it up in troves. So 22 is out there. I find it on local, gun store shelves all the time, and it's very reasonably priced. You can find it online, very reasonably priced, and a brick of 22 is under $50. So that's 500 rounds. That's at least enough for maybe
an afternoon.
Yeah, it depends on who you are. It might be enough for an hour of shooting, depending on who you are, but an afternoon of shooting.
Can't go wrong with ammo, guys, no matter what you do. Mags, ammo, Ear Pro, stuff like that.
One range accessory that that I actually recently just got into was the LEADOFF wipes. These are made by a company called Hygienol, and they were recommended to me. And you know, they have different ones. They have like soap, they have wipes, and then they have little portable wipes here. You can keep these in a range bag. Get these for somebody who always goes to the range, goes to an indoor range and shoots a lot, because lead contamination is a problem. I mean, we know folks that have had lead poisoning in the past from being in indoor range situations and such, and this helps pull that lead off your hands, keeps it clean, especially if you got kids.
Yep.
It's just a very nice safety measure, and these are really inexpensive and nice little, you know, safety measures to keep in range.
Cool thing about lead wipes too, again, just like the Ear Pro, it's a very passive way. If somebody you think they might be into guns, maybe you're not sure. I mean, everybody can use lead wipes. I mean, if you're around somebody that shoots or you're around a range or something like that, can't hurt to have ways to protect your hearing, keep your hands clean. Going on to other things that can follow you around to the range, stuff like workplace wipes, like these LPS workplace wipes are awesome.
Those things are great. I keep a container of these in the truck, and I'm constantly using these just to wipe dirt and grime off my hands. They've got a nice citrus scent to them. Yep. I mean, these things are wonderful. You're working up a shop, you get grease all over your hands, it'll pull that right off of there.
Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful product.
Yeah, and they're made right here in Beaufort, Georgia. Really great group of people to work with and everything. The workplace wipes are great because, again, you know, if a guy's a gun guy, he's probably also like beating on cars from time to time. He's probably working on stuff. He's probably owns tools, probably does things like that. So everybody always needs a way to keep their hands clean. So that's a really great gift.
My thing is, most gun people or most just guys and whatnot who like this kind of stuff or outdoorsy, they like useful items. Yeah. You know, I don't want something I can display up on a shelf. Yeah, you know, in the big scheme of things, I want something I can actually use that's tangible. You know, if you're into like building guns, or you know, a guy who's looking at building an AR or something like that, receivers. Yep. You know, we always talk about AR receivers. Yep. And you know, most of the receivers out there nowadays that are good quality are well under $100.
You know, and it's funny. Something that we're going to take away from this video that we're going to eventually do a video on later is the Anderson lowers. I know we've gotten a lot of questions from people about Anderson and whether or not they're a good product and everything like that. I've gotten some really good results out of Anderson.
Me too.
Chad and I both built guns on multiple Anderson lowers. These lowers can be had for well south of $60, so they're really, really reasonable in terms of the price. The quality, I've seen a little bit hit or miss in some cases. Sometimes you have to kind of chase a few of the holes. Sometimes the anodizing on them can be just maybe a little bit thick, and you just have to simply go in and just kind of barely chase the holes to get your pins to go in.
We had 2 receivers out of probably a dozen that I can remember that had the grip screw hole was not threaded all the way through, so we actually had to cut the grip screw to get it to fit, but that was just a quick and easy fix. But it's not exactly a drop-in, but for the money, they're wonderful. I've actually got 2 SBR lowers that I made on these.
And for the money, these are inexpensive enough to where if you know somebody as an AR aficionado in your family or someone who's into guns, or let's just say you want to promote the idea of someone building an AR. Let's say you are a gun guy and someone is like, oh, well, I'm on the fence about buying an AR. Well, guess what? You buy them this, you know they're gonna look at that thing sitting on the shelf, they're going to be like, dang it, I got to turn that into a complete rifle. It's just the way it is. So AR receivers are a great buy.
Well, too, when you look out there, the plethora of AR parts, I mean, there's really inexpensive components that are out there. I mean, like these gun tech rails. I know the guys up here at Moss, you know, like Ray and Ryan, they've been building a bunch of ARs for customers with these rails, and these are under $100.
Yep.
And they're just quality aluminum extrusions, and they've got M-lock on them, pick rail up top. I mean, just a good solid rail. Real simple, real inexpensive. I mean, you can build an AR, a complete AR, even custom now for less than $500-600.
Yep.
Easy. You know?
The thing about the gun tech accessories, they're price reasonable, reasonably good quality and everything like that. And it ain't got to be a space age, super nice rail. I mean, if it's just something that's a gift, somebody's building a gun, great little piece of hardware. This here's a Mag Tactical lower. Kind of on the vein of lowers. It's kind of an upper end lower.
It is magnesium, aluminum alloy, I think, right?
It is. You get about a 30% weight decrease on these. Really, really awesome product there. So that's just another type of lower we just happen to have out here.
And then we're talking about AR accessories, triggers. You guys know we like Geisley triggers. There's a lot of other companies that make triggers, but this is an awesome upgrade for somebody who has an AR and they want to maybe take it to the next level. So couple $100 in a lot of cases, but a quality upgrade also for AKs. If guy's an AR or a AK guy and not an AR guy, AK triggers, AK accessories. I mean, the sky's the limit, really, in the big scheme of things.
Oh, I can promise you right now, if you're not a gun guy and you know somebody that is a gun guy, if you throw something that says Geisley in the stocking, they are instantly they're gonna definitely be right on board there. They're gonna love that idea.
No doubt.
Yeah, so moving along, there's plenty of other things to talk about. Like, again, going to the range, stuff like oil. You can never go wrong with like a good quality, like a can of LPS1 or LPS2. Both excellent quality lubricants. Great to keep out on the range. You never know when a gun's going to go down. You need to lubricate it or something like that. So lubricants are always a mainstay. Just like ear pro, just like ammo, you got to have stuff to keep the guns running and everything.
Yep, ALG, Go Juice, I mean, Fire Clean, Breakthrough Clean. I mean, you guys have seen any number of things that we've used in videos in the past.
That's right.
Let's see what else we got here. We got a couple of other, optics.
Yep.
Something to top that gun off with.
Yep, you got to have something to put on the gun.
Meprolite.
Yep.
Was that little guy there, a little True Dot?
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
That's one of those RDS. So this is the new RDS from Meprolite, and then there you've got the
Trijicon MRO. Now, I've got one of the older ones of these, and they've actually kind of upgraded these a little bit. They're quite better than the first ones that they brought out with, so these things are really, really cool now, for sure.
Absolutely. Optics are always an excellent option. I mean, oftentimes, your optics are generally going to cost a little bit of money. They're going to be a little bit more on the expensive side, but if you're wanting to get kind of a upper end gift for the gun person in your life, definitely optics are awesome. Everybody loves optics, obviously. We already talked about mag pull accessories. Here's a couple of mag links. There's mag couplers for AKs and ARs. So there again, more mag pull accessories.
More AR parts. We can't get away from the AR parts. Lower parts kits.
Oh, yeah.
$50.
Yep.
A complete lower or a stripped lower and then a lower parts kit.
Yep.
And a little bit of stock furniture and whatnot, you got yourself a complete lower.
Yeah, and you're talking, stocking stuff for material there. I mean, this right here will just fit down in a stocking, and they've got everything they need to get started on the way to building their first AR, which is great. So lower parts kits are awesome. Another awesome item. I love these things, and I'm so glad that we thought to put these on the table here. Lula loaders. These are Butler Creek makes these. These things are stupid useful. They are great to have out on the range, especially if you're going to have a long, kind of extended shooting session or something like that, where you're going to be loading a lot of magazines. Lulas are awesome. They save your thumbs, they save your fingers, and it's a little bit better on your magazines too. You're putting really even stress over the top of the magazine, keeping the mag lips from binding. This is just a really consistent way to load your magazines, and they're cheap. They're under $30. This is a great gift.
I found some mag loaders that I wanted to try out, but I haven't had a chance to order them yet. But I found this website called Plate Design, and they've got these benchtop loaders. They're like $50, and they're all polymer and whatnot, but you can literally stack 30 rounds in there, and they've got them for all different types of mags.
Yep.
And you go, $50.
Yep.
I mean, come on. So,
lots of useful stuff. So I know in a couple of previous videos, I was up there with Marshall at Going Gear, and we were talking about various knives, flashlights, and things like that. If you want a little bit more of a detailed shakedown on some of the lights and knives that are out there, be sure to reference those videos. They're in the description box below. We do have a couple of odds and ends here, kind of under the vein of cutlery and things. Key bars. If you go with like a key bar, this is an awesome, awesome tool, a great thing to have to put your keys on. And trust me, if a guy's an EDC nut, he's going to love a key bar.
Yeah, I've lost mine. It has not resurfaced yet.
I'm not going to lie, they are a little bit on the pricey side, but they are a very high quality product made right here in the USA, and that's just a great, great product. The guys at Key Bar are also just great dude.
It's down in Savannah, Georgia, baby.
Yeah, down in Savannah, right here in Georgia.
Knives. Ryan up here at Moss gave me this one just to show off. This is a Raven Crest Tactical.
Raven Crest, yep.
So he always gives me heck about this. This is like a $125 knife, and then I've got a Microtech, which I paid like $200+ for. But, knife people love this kind of stuff. I mean, a Microtech in a stocking. Oh
well,
my God.
Be mindful too, some jurisdictions don't allow automatic knives. So make sure you're not living in one of them communist areas where they don't want you to have an automatic knife. But right here in Georgia, they're perfectly fine, they're perfectly legal, and everything like that.
They are.
Knives are always an awesome gift. Everybody loves knives. You can't go wrong there.
And custom Cerakote is also nice too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Absolutely. So there's nothing wrong with some cutlery, just to kind of spitball on ideas. We've got a couple of flashlights over here. Do you show off a few of those?
Ryan gave me this one just to show off. He was blinding me with it. Oh, it's a Nebo? What was this thing?
Cricket?
Cricket?
The Kraken. It's the Kraken.
It's like a little handheld. It's got a rotary head on it. This thing is kind of neat.
You know,
it's like $25.
Small flashlights are great. If you just need a stocking stuffer, let's say you're buying gifts for a lot of people. Say you're going to a company Christmas party or something like that, and you're going to buy a bunch of gifts to give away to like 12 or 15 other people. Something like this is just awesome. This one's magnetic, so you can stick it somewhere. You know, if a guy's a mechanic, needs to stick it somewhere and, you know, have it as a, well, this is not flat on the front, but anyway, that was a fail.
That was a bad demonstration.
That was a really crappy way to demonstrate it, wasn't it? But anyway, it is magnetic, you know, got a pocket clip, real basic yet simple light, works really well for the money, you know.
Me personally, I've been through a lot of lights over time, and like the stream lights are great. I've had a few that broke. I went with some Surefires, and you guys know the story if you've watched some of the Going Gear videos where I lost one of my Surefire, you know, everyday carry flashlights, and it got lost in an area of my yard that floods all the time, and it got ran over by the lawnmower and thrown halfway across the yard and found like 6 months later. But I usually carry a Surefire on me, and these lights are just great. I mean, you know, they can be had for anywhere between about $60 and a couple $100 depending on the model.
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more, but the handheld flashlights are excellent gifts. This is a very awesome gift for a gun guy, because you think about a gun person, they might carry every day, and part of my routine is carrying a knife, a flashlight, and my firearm every day. So something like this will last nearly a lifetime just about. But there are other options that are a lot cheaper, and then weapon lights as well, like the Surefire and the stream lights and some of like the Enforce lights.
Sure.
I mean, there's something for everybody out there, but
and every price range too. That's an important thing to remember. I mean, there's a lot of varying price ranges, and the quality starts to go in different directions depending on what you want to spend. I mean, obviously, a $25 light is going to be a $25 light, and then a more expensive light, you know, you're going to get higher quality components, such as like the switching is higher quality, the body that the flashlight is made out of is going to be higher quality. Oftentimes, you've got strike bezels and other fancy threaded devices that can go on the end for various purposes. And then also the ability of them to take a CR123 is, in my opinion, pretty important.
Yep, and speaking of, if you know somebody who has a lot of like weapon lights and things like that, they're you know, a gun guy that has all that kind of stuff already. You know, a 72 pack of Surefire CR123s is an excellent gift, because I mean, we go through those things like crazy.
And you don't have to buy the Surefire brand. No. That's something that's really important to think about. Surefire was really smart there in their marketing, because when everybody thinks a battery for a Surefire, what do they say? Oh, I need Surefire batteries. See, it's not a CR123, it's a Surefire battery. It's a CR123. And there are other, like basically, I buy a lot of my CR123s through B&H Photo, and you can get even bigger lot size than a 72 piece, and the price ends up working out a little bit better than the Surefire
it's a little
batteries.
better maybe.
You know, and so there is an option.
I like the red batteries.
You like the red batteries.
The red ones.
You don't have to buy the actual Surefire battery. You can buy a CR123. And also, if somebody does go through a lot of batteries, like we do a lot of hunting with thermals and night vision, and those things eat batteries like crazy. Surefire actually makes a little like capsule device that holds, I think, like 6 batteries and an extra bulb in it. Those things, if somebody's a flashlight guru or does anything with CR123s and that's in their stocking, you're going to be the hero of Christmas. Those things are awesome. Little packs, and they're cheap. They're like $20.
E2 backup. I may have to go home with that.
Yeah, that's a nice unit.
That's the upgrade from mine. Here, put that over there.
Absolutely.
Get that out of my sight.
Yeah. So again, going with the Surefire EB2 backup. So, you know, basically, with the flashlights, you get into like varying output modes, you get into, you know, a little bit more power and a more compact package. Obviously, that's going to drive the price up. Stuff like a Surefire P3X is a pretty badass light. I mean, they're large, and it is a 3 battery light. But man, you want to talk about like 1100 lumens of output, so they're stupid output. You know, nice bright light, real rugged assembly, but you know, you're talking a $300 light.
Yeah. All right, so getting into like reloading. Okay, so you know somebody who does reloading all the time. They like to roll their own ammo. Well,
sure.
Gunpowder. Hey, what kind of powder do you normally use? Oh, well, I use H335, or I use a lot of 296. I'm kind of running low on little gun.
There you go.
Powder.
Yeah, the nice thing about a place like Moss is you can come in here and they're very well versed and well stocked on reloading components, which is actually kind of a hard thing to find these days. A lot of gun shops, it's hard to find a gun shop that does a little bit of everything, and that's why I like coming to Moss, because they tend to have a lot of different stuff. And reloading components are no different. air of caution that I'll give there. If you are going to gift someone a reloading component of some type, whether it's primers like we have here, some Winchester primers.
Those are some 22 primers.
Primers, yeah, 22 primers. Primers are literally the food of reloading. Like, you have to have this. It doesn't matter what other component you have. If you don't have a way to reprime, then you don't have a cartridge, right? You know, a cartridge is the coin of the land right now in the big scheme of things to some degree. If you are going to gift some form of reloaded component, make sure that you're doing enough research to get the right thing, because it's very easy to get confused. And the best thing to do is just go into a reputable place. You come into a place like Moss and ask the right questions. You know, even if you know a buddy of yours loads a bunch of 9mm or a bunch of 45 or something like that, you go into a properly stocked shop with knowledgeable people, and they can tell you what you need to get them. You know, if anything, you can just get them the proper size primers. And gosh, primers are infinitely useful. They never go bad if they're stored properly, and you can never have enough primers.
Oh, no, not at all. You know, for reloaded ammunition, like Plano cases, these things are great. We have them laying all over the place.
Yep.
Snap caps for testing out rifles and things like that. If you're cleaning and whatnot, and you just want to test the action, or you're doing some gunsmithing type operation or whatever the case is, you're a hobbyist, snap caps are great for the given calibers. I mean, there's a million and one more gifts. I mean, that are just immensely useful. And like I said, I like gifts that are useful. I like things that I can actually use and that are tangible. I don't like stuff that I just put up on the shelf and display. I mean, but my wife has the problem of buying for me, because she's like, I don't know what to get you. It's like, well, what do you mean you don't know what to get me? I like guns, I like knives, and I like guns.
Well, but if somebody's not in on that, then they may not know exactly what that entails. I mean, if you say, well, yeah, I'm a gun guy, well, what kind of guns? I mean, you've got very differing amounts of opinion, and also kind of disciplines that go along with certain shooting too.
What she does is she just calls his wife.
Well, yeah, and you know,
says,
my wife.
What do I do?
My wife knows a good bit about stuff, and you know, another aspect of it too, like the crowd that does like cowboy action shooting or black powder shooting or something like that, or you know, they might like more the cowboy guns and the stuff like that. Well, if you buy them a 33 round Glock magazine, they're going to look at you like you're from Mars, right? I mean, now.
Well, I thought you liked guns. They said this was a good gift.
Well, exactly, but you have to kind of know these things about people going into it if you're going to, you know, potentially gift them some type of gun accessory.
Yep.
You know, now a guy that likes, you know, probably owns 5 ARs and several Glocks, well then, yeah, a 33 round Glock magazine is always going to be an awesome thing to have laying around for the Glock lover in your life or something like that. But again, you know, there are different aspects to being a gun owner. Some people like to shoot black powder. I enjoy black powder tremendously. I shoot black powder all the time.
Yeah, you do.
In fact, the last, I don't know, 30 rounds that I've ran have been out of a Snider. So, I mean, I get more pleasure these days in shooting random black powder and things. I mean, so.
Well, like, you know, going over all this, targets.
Yep.
Which one is this one? Oh,
That's
the
terrorist.
So these are from Triumph Systems, and you know, you guys remember we done some Facebook videos when we were out in Iowa, and these things are really cool because they have these little individual cells in them, and if you hit like the lung here, the whole thing doesn't drain out, just the individual cell does. So this target can still be reused quite often. Somebody's been aiming for the beard there. I think I got some in the brain pan up there, but these are just fun targets. They make some neat, like, ethical harvest targets for hunters. So, like, if you've got a hunting buddy or whatever that needs to go out and zero the rifle in the you know, fall of the year, and give them a pack of these targets, they can go out and they can zero their gun and make sure that they know they're going to be able to hit the boiler room.
Yep, to train on proper shot placement.
Exactly.
And also, let's say that, I don't know, you run some type of a hunting camp or a hunting lodge, and people come to your property and they hunt on a regular basis or something like that, and say that you're about to put this guy in like the best stand on the entire property, and you're like, I want to test this kid and make sure he can hit what he's aiming at. All right, shoot that deer in the heart. And then if they shoot him in the leg, then, you know, I don't know if I want to put him in that good spot or not, because he might ruin my spot.
Well, you could put him real close.
Break out the flamethrower.
I might have to gift myself one of those, little XM42.
Yep.
Ah, those things are so much fun.
There's a couple of different ones out there, but I would have to say that just for, you know, we were down there in Florida playing around at the NFA Review Channel shoot, and these things are just so fun to play with. You know, they really are.
They're quite ridiculous.
You can't really say a whole lot against setting things on fire.
What's so funny is I've seen a lot of folks like up north where it snows all the time, they use these to clear the driveways. You know, they just got there, just melting the snow away and just clearing it all out of there.
That's right.
Dude, that's nuts.
You know, there are a couple of sort of immaterial things that you can also purchase for someone who is a gun lover as well. I mean, you can buy them training. Another great option, you know, you look at a guy like James Yeager or any of the guys that are doing, you know, tons of great training out there. There's a ton of them. But, you know, go take a class with James or something, buy somebody a class, say that somebody's getting into defensive, you know, pistol use, and they really need to be taught proper techniques and proper carry techniques and proper mindset to use those techniques. Sometimes training is a great option. Maybe somebody's got all the guns they want, all the ammo, and they're hard to buy for. Buy them a training class or buy them a hunting trip. A hunting trip is always a welcome thing. I mean, you get some card that says, yeah, congrats, I'm sending you to, you know, for a hog hunting trip in South Georgia or a hog hunting trip wherever.
Yep.
That's always a really cool thing to give somebody.
And talking about like gifts like that, I mean, gift certificates. I mean, if you've got a local shop close to you that you know your friend or family member frequents, then see if they offer gift certificates. I mean, you know, a $100 gift certificate can buy whatever they want. I mean, ammo, accessories.
Or it can go towards the purchase of another firearm.
Exactly.
You know, if you give somebody a $100 or $200 gift certificate or something, that can always go towards their next firearms purchase, which is always immensely helpful. So, hopefully this video helped you glean some information. I know that to some of you, you're thinking, you're rolling along this video and you're going, yeah, you know, you get it, and that's understandable. This video is really trying to help out some of the folks that may not understand what gun people go after in terms of cool gift ideas. Most of the gifts that we showed off in this video are well south of $100, with the exception of some of the optics and other slightly more expensive things, maybe the flashlights. But most of these things can be had for well south of $100. Well,
maybe the flamethrower.
Yeah, the flamethrower is definitely a little bit on the pricey side, but a nice gift. I mean, sometimes you want to give somebody a really cool gift. Now, obviously, there are the very, very simple and obvious things such as guns that you can give people. We know that, but we're talking about accessories, which are really, really easy to give people and everything. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think. Is there a gift that we left off?
Probably.
Is there something that we should have put in this video?
Probably.
Is there something that we should put in next year's video? Go down in the comment section and just light it up on fire and just and type, run your little fingers and maybe burn it, and go ahead and just type a bunch of stuff, run your little fingers, and let us know what you think, and we'll try to include it in the next video. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time, and also thanks to Moss Pond for letting us come and commandeer their flamethrower.
Merry Christmas to me.
For a moment. All right. Have a good one.